Every friendship creates a small country that exists nowhere on the map. Mine has no flag or anthem, but it has a language. One badly pronounced word can refer to a night from 7 years ago. An image of an empty chair can be hilarious. A particular look can mean, do not say what I know you're about to say. To everyone else, it is nonsense. To us, it is a world. And one night, at 11:43 p.m., I received a message from one of its citizens. Are you awake? This is rarely the beginning of anything convenient, but I wrote back, yes. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. I may have seriously underestimated how much stuff I own. He had to leave his apartment by morning. The rented van was waiting downstairs. Most of his life was still distributed across 5 floors of a building with no elevator. Can you help? I looked at the time, I looked at my bed. 10 minutes later, I was putting on my shoes. As I closed the door, an old question followed me into the night. Why this person? Why do some people remain people we know, while another quietly becomes part of who we are? We had not liked each other instantly. That would make a nicer story, but not a true one. We met through someone else. For a while, our conversations belonged to that third person. If he left the room, the connection seemed to leave with him. Then, one afternoon, the 3 of us were supposed to get lunch. Our mutual friend cancelled after we had already arrived. We stood outside the restaurant performing a polite adult calculation. Do we still go in, or pretend we both have somewhere urgent to be? We went in. Lunch became coffee, coffee became a walk. During that walk, one of us admitted something oddly specific about how he imagined the future. The other stopped and said, "Wait, you do that too?" But recognition is not friendship. You can have a beautiful conversation with a stranger on a train and never see them again. You can tell someone a secret and still not trust them with your ordinary Tuesday. The next week, neither of us needed a mutual friend as an excuse. One of us sent a message, the other came, then the direction reversed. That was how our country began. Not with a declaration, but with a border crossing so small that neither of us noticed it. We had started choosing each other. When I reached his building that night, the front door was held open by a box marked kitchen. Although it contained 1 shoe, 3 books, a lamp, and no evidence of a kitchen. He looked at me, I looked at the box. The look meant, you had all months. His meant, this is not the time. And somehow, thank you for coming. After enough time, a friend can appear to read your mind. Of course he cannot. He has simply collected thousands of tiny observations. The joke you make when you are nervous, the silence that means you are angry rather than tired, the answer you give when the true answer is no. A stranger hears the sentence, a friend hears its history. More than 2000 years ago, Aristotle divided friendship into 3 kinds. Some friendships are built on usefulness, some on pleasure, and the rarest kind, he thought, is built on wanting what is good for another person simply because their life matters to you. At 2 in the morning, carrying someone else's terrible box, the categories become less tidy. Was I there because I was useful? Yes. Was I enjoying his company? Against all reason, yes. Did I want his night to become easier even if he could give me nothing back? Also yes. Maybe the best friendships do not reject usefulness or pleasure, they transform them. I do not help you so that you owe me. Helping you is a pleasing because your good fortune has started to feel like good news inside my own life. Aristotle opened his discussion with starting claim. Without friends, no one would choose to live, though he had all other goods. And still, something essential would be missing. But his categories may explain why we value a friend, not when a person becomes one. I tried to find the border. Is a colleague a friend if we eat lunch together every day but never meet outside work? What about someone I met 3 days ago and trusted immediately? Or the childhood friend I have not spoken to in 10 years, but would recognize from the sound of his laugh in another room? Every definition worked until I placed a real person inside it. Then the edges broke. Maybe friendship is not a switch, maybe it is a gradient. There's no precise point when red becomes orange, yet no one looks at orange and says that the color is imaginary. But friendship may be stranger than a gradient. It may be more like water. One molecule is not wet. Wetness appears only when enough molecules interact, a quality none possesses alone. One conversation is not a friendship. Neither is one favor, one secret, one brilliant evening, one message answered at midnight. But these small things begin touching one another. A joke acquires a history. A promise survives its first inconvenience. One person disappears for a while and then returns. At some point, there is something new between you.
You talk to them, then you say hello, you meet each other, then you play with each other.
Children refuse to tolerate this ambiguity. A child can meet someone beside a sandbox, exchange the names of two favorite dinosaurs, and ask the question adults have lost the courage to ask. Do you want to be my friend? If the answer is yes, the matter is settled. 5 minutes ago strangers, now friends, here's half my biscuit. A child names the friendship first and then tries to live it. An adult lives the friendship first and names it only in retrospect. We do not ask, are we friends? We ask, did you get home? Do you need help? Can I tell you something I have not told anyone else? These are adult friendship ceremonies. Perhaps children understand something we have forgotten. Important people should not always have to guess that they are important. The stronger a friendship becomes, the less often we speak about friendship itself. At the beginning, we search for evidence. Did they really want to meet? Should I message first? Am I invited because they like me or because everyone was invited? Years later, the evidence has become the background. You can sit in the same room doing different things. You can answer a sincere confession with an insult so precisely designed that it somehow communicates love. You can disappear into separate lives and still assume that there will be a next conversation. The friendship becomes like air. Its success makes it invisible. And that is also its danger. What no longer needs to prove itself can begin to receive no attention at all. I once had a friend with whom nothing bad happened. No betrayal, no argument, no final decision. We postponed one meeting, then another. A message remained unanswered long enough to become awkward. The awkwardness made the next message harder. Soon we were both waiting for a relationship that existed only if one of us stopped waiting. The last time I saw him did not feel like an ending. Romantic love often gives us final conversation. A closed door, a sentence dividing before from after. Friendship can end without an event dramatic enough to remember. The final joke sounds like every other joke. The last message looks temporary. Then one day, a person who once knew every character in your life has become someone you remember alone. Friendship is created by accumulation. Sometimes it is lost by accumulation too. One invitation not made, one truce not told, 1 year in which both people assume there will be more time. Perhaps friendship is a kind of everyday magic. Not because it breaks the laws of the world, but because it creates a world from things too small to look magical on their own. One ridiculous photo, one burden carried by two people, one honest question after I'm fine. None of these things is friendship, just as no molecule is that. But they touch, they accumulate, they begin to remember one another. And one day, without a declaration, there is a new country on the map of your life. It has language, a history, sleeping roads, open borders, citizens who can sometimes read your face and sometimes get it completely wrong. You may never need to ask, are we friends? Most of you already know, but perhaps the child beside the sandbox was right about one thing. Important worlds deserve to be named. So even when it feels unnecessary, tell them you are glad this one exists.